Hi guys, welcome to some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and or emailer, we love hearing from you. Keep those emails coming in. It gives us some great ideas.
Yes.
So, you had a little issue this last week here that I think is a great topic to talk about, and that is reading labels, not only on treats, but your food.
Yes.
For your dogs.
Yep.
Would you like to tell us how we came upon that topic?
Yes. So I was going to spend some time working with the dogs a little bit more.
Training-wise,
yep. So I thought, well, let me get some good treats. Then I can start there because I didn't really have any high-value treats here that would work. So I was at Walmart looking at the different treats, picked out a bag with some nice soft treats in it, and continued to work with the dogs on that. And Jim got sick. He got real sick. Messes all over, lots of cleaning products.
So diarrhea,
vomiting, you could tell he just didn't feel well. He was kind of lethargic, you could just, it was rough. I hate it when kids and dogs are sick. It's just, you feel bad. And I was talking to you about it, and we're talking about the labels, what's in it, things like that. Well, not only did it have garlic and onion in it, which dogs are not supposed to have, but we found out that the Shiba Inus in particular are extra sensitive to garlic. So,
and other breeds as well.
Yeah.
Not specifically the Shiba Inu, but there it had a list of a couple other dogs that are very sensitive to garlic.
Yeah. And so I inadvertently made my dog sick. Right. And thank goodness we were talking about it and figured it out. But I guess I wouldn't have thought to read the ingredients on a treat because it's a treat. You would think if it's on the shelf
for dogs,
yeah, it would be something safe and something they could have, but that's not always the case. We now know.
Well, I think anytime you have a dog that gets sick like that, it's important to look at, first of all, just kind of assess any changes that are going on in the house, whether it's diet or cleaning products, anything.
Yeah.
And you and I just happened to come upon the fact that you had picked up some inexpensive treats. We aren't going to name names,
right,
on these treats or foods or anything. What we're going to talk about is reading the label, keeping yourself educated so that you provide, the best you can for your pets.
And Google it all, okay? Go look at the store, go home and Google it. Take a picture if you gotta,
So what we found, it was kind of a tricky topic because we actually found that there aren't a whole lot of regulations, would I say?
Yeah, I think that's the right word.
For treats specifically.
It's a little concerning, actually.
I was kind of trying to go another direction from Tori, but you found that there are not, it kind of depends on the classification of what you're giving the dog.
Yes. So what it is now in this case, it has to state a treat or a snack on the label.
Has to state that?
It has to state that. So look for that. If it does say that, they're not required to meet any nutritional requirements or anything like that because it's not a complete nutrition for them during the day.
Which I do kind of understand that aspect of it. I mean, if you were solely, if you, sat down and poured your dog a bowl of dog treats as meals,
yeah,
that'd be concerning.
Right.
Where dog food is actually considered, a nutritional food
Right.
that supplies, life-sustaining nutrition.
Right.
So I can see that aspect of it, that possibly, yeah, you don't have to quite break it down as much when it's just a treat.
Yep.
But it is very concerning that there really isn't any, as long as it's classified as a treat or a snack, that there's really no requirements nutritionally.
Yep, they're exempt from registration and labeling, any of that stuff. So, I mean, it's like with that garlic and onion, maybe that may not affect all dogs quite as much as it would, Shiba Inus, but they can put that in there and not even tell you.
Right.
That's things, chews, bones, any toys made from animal skin, any animal hides, wood, any man-made materials, hoofs, ears, ligaments, snouts, all that stuff. They don't really have to tell you anything.
Well, the thing there is that wasn't an isolated treat either. You and I were at the store and we were picking up several different types of food, different brands, and we did find that there were some that had, ingredients in them that are not really. I guess I'm just going to say they're bad for the dogs.
Right. Yep.
And I don't know that and I also read an article. This is a little off topic, but it was about giving your dog garlic as a supplement. And
I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah, and it said that it's okay as long as it's under a veterinarian's supervision. So, I don't know if these ingredients that they're putting in there are like within certain limits, it's okay. And they add it for seasoning. I guess I'm not real clear on that. That is the thing about feeding dogs that is so tricky, is because, one person might say something's okay and someone else might say it's not. And obviously not everything on the internet is true, but if you start finding many articles or different information from different people that consistently supports that something is either good or bad, then you have to start kind of thinking that there is something valid there. So be careful with that garlic and make sure to read your treat packages, because they are not required to really, how would I say that? Label it?
Yeah, at least fully.
Or classify it, maybe is the right word for it.
Yeah.
I know, I guess I was looking at an article. We kind of came upon the same article.
We did.
And it was from the AKC.
Yes.
And they talked about the labels on dog food in it. That was more specifically dog food.
Yes.
And I think that was a little bit of an eye-opener too, because they referred to 4 rules for labeling dog foods. And who makes these guidelines? It is the Association of American Feed Control Officials.
Yes.
So it's the AAFCO.
That's a mouthful.
I know. That's why I read it out. And I think when you're reading label, it's important to pay attention to how they're using the words.
It very much is. Actually, after reading that article, I wouldn't have even thought to look at the wording, and it apparently makes a pretty big difference in some cases.
Well, and if you think about the words they use as examples, which we will kind of go over that, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And you can see how they're getting away with that.
Splitting hairs.
Kind of like that, yeah. I'm going to do the first rule, and that's a 95% rule. And that is if it states that it is chicken for dogs, or, for example, salmon for dogs, it must include at least 95% of chicken or salmon, 70% when counting the added water. So, Well, clearly Enzo's interested in this because he has broken in between Tori and her microphone.
He's inserted himself into the conversation quite
He's like,
literally.
did I hear that
Yeah.
right? What is going on?
Checking? Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
It's
he says there better be 95%.
Yeah.
What is that? 70%? That's garbage.
Now I know what you're feeding me. Thanks.
Water or
Thank
not,
you.
I want 95%.
Yeah.
So the word for is the word that you need to be watching for because they are referring to that meat being for the dog.
Yes.
If I understood it right.
I believe that's correct. That's
Right.
the way I understood it.
The next one is what? A 25% rule.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is less than 95%, the name must include a qualifying term such as dinner or entree or platter, meaning that the amount of actual meat product is substantially less
Mm-hmm.
and there are other products in there. So anything saying dinner, entree, or platter, you're not getting the meat that you want if you're shooting for a higher meat content.
It's going to be a lot of fillers in that and unimportant sugary stuff probably.
No, yes, fillers are not always good. There's a topic.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think both of us had to kind of stop ourselves at this is a huge rabbit hole. I think we could go do a few episodes on it.
Well, and I was a little frustrated because I was specifically looking for treat information.
Yep.
And it kept going back to food, dog foods.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things that I don't think there's a lot of, I won't say no regulation, but I don't believe that there is a lot of regulation on dog treats.
From what I found, there really isn't, which again is kind of concerning because what if they don't put stuff on there?
Then you have a sick dog, I guess.
Then yeah.
Yeah. The third one is the with rule.
Yes.
So label stating something like doggy dinner with beef only needs 3% of the product.
That's very small for putting it on the label.
It is. So, and if you think about it, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
A dog dinner with meat is not saying that this is a meat meal.
Right.
This is saying it has some in there.
Yep.
So that, as I've read through these rules and listened to their terminology, it kind of clicks in my head. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Well, and it really does. And the dog food that I've got for my dogs, I feed, it's with steak, I think, or steak flavored. But I get it because the chicken flavor kind doesn't work with Enzo. He breaks out. And then this beef, whatever's in it, which doesn't seem to be much beef, really, there's a difference in there somewhere, but it can't be the...
Well, that isn't to say that if something that is saying beef flavored or with beef is not saying that there isn't chicken in it. It's just saying that it's made in a different way. So there would be a separate component that is in that feed, or even, if you read through the label ingredient for ingredient, it might be something that is higher up in the ingredient label, and there's just more of it, so it can cause an irritation one way or another with any dog that has a sensitivity. So, that's a little bit of a tricky one. Now, the last one, I guess, I'm not going to lie, I like to think I know my beans, but my beans were fried. The flavor rule.
Oh, yep.
I was at our local Tractor Supply, and I was loading some dog food in my vehicle, and as I was loading it, I looked at it, and it said beef and lamb flavor.
Oh.
And I thought, what?
That's not right.
And I thought as I was putting it on the cart that I was buying beef and lamb food. I thought I got a great deal, and then I realized it was just flavored. And that is actually not required to contain any more than a detectable amount of what they're the beef or the lamb, whichever it might be.
Which that could be a pinch, in my opinion. I mean,
that wouldn't even be like a sustainable amount. That wouldn't be a nutritional amount.
Right, yeah.
So watch out for the flavor rule.
Yeah, you would think that's a word you'd want to find, but maybe not.
Yeah, well, and I think that's really common. You know, people nowadays are so busy. I mean, You're rushing around, you're trying to get things done. We live in a small community. Sometimes one store doesn't have what you're after, so you go to another store, you throw it in the cart quick. Oh, yay, they got it. And then you find out something bad on it,
right.
And you're thinking, oh, I didn't even look. Which is exactly what happened to you with your dog treats. You were rushing around trying to get your stuff done.
Yep.
Grab some cheap treats so that you could, work with your dogs on training.
Yep.
And you didn't even think to look. I think that is all too common.
It is. And no judgments, we're not judging.
I mean, that's obviously happened to Tori. We're talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
They got me. Same thing for me. They were out of the food I normally bought. I thought I found beef and lamb.
Yep.
Oh, nope, it's just flavored. So I think it's important to take time, and as those words come out of my mouth, I'm thinking, when would that be?
Because we have so much.
But for us, you just need to make that time to, assess the best dog foods you can. We, at Primo Corso Kennels, a lot of the treats used for dogs there are boiled eggs, which are totally natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's a matter of me sitting down, boiling them and peeling them, which is really not my favorite job.
Well, and those come from chickens we know.
Yeah, actually, yes. So there's chickens that we feed,
mm-hmm.
and that's one of our treats. And then the other thing is that we are working on. Honestly, it's been quite a process.
Yeah.
Primo Corso Kennels likes to use all natural meat treats,
mm-hmm.
which Tori is working on. We have a recipe kind of in place.
Yes.
We thought we'd have things further along, but time has really gotten short for everybody involved.
Time and much larger equipment.
Yeah. So you're working on that, and those are treats that are all meat, all veggies. That's what we like to give to our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have 18 hours to dehydrate it, you might mistakenly stop in the snack aisle for dogs at Walmart and grab something that will make them sick.
Yes. It is. I can't even stress how easy that is to do. Okay. And it was, you can't even, how bad you feel, but.
Well, you have a freezer full of fresh
meat.
Well, it's entrails,
Yeah.
organ meat,
mm-hmm.
things along those lines that that Tori makes into treats.
Mm-hmm.
And, the fact is that it's time consuming. You
Yes.
have to be around for 18 hours, depending on the moisture content.
Yep.
And it's, so there you go. You didn't have time. What'd you do?
Yep. Just picked up a bag quick from the store so I could get working with these guys. And, well, that bit me, didn't it?
Well, and I think that's a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's going to take the time to dehydrate a bunch of meat and dice up veggies to throw in there.
Right.
So as hard as that is for everybody, I think it's important to look at labels as to what you're feeding dogs.
Well, and if you're busy and you do need some treats, maybe wait till they have 5 minutes to just look, which, again, can be tricky to find, but
One thing I do think, like when we were talking, actually we went for breakfast, and we were discussing this.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
actually, the byproducts. So,
Yes.
actually, the byproducts that they put in dry dog food kind of gets a bad rep, which, as we say that,
Mhm.
Tori, you found the opposite.
I did. We found two totally opposite
So-
information.
I found that they kind of get a bad rap because there is some good, stuff in there. There is liver, which has vitamin A. There's blood, brains, bones, stomach, cleaned intestines.
Mhm.
All that has actually some really healthy content to it.
Yeah.
It's nothing we want to eat because it's nasty.
Right. We're not dogs.
But, well, hold it. No, back up.
Okay.
That being said, I did take a bite of the meat treats that you make.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Was it good?
no,
Oh.
I didn't like it.
The dogs love them.
They are, I mean, if you're starving to death, you could eat them.
You could. Yep.
You could eat
Yeah.
them.
There.
But
You might not wanna.
I spit mine out.
Mm-hmm.
It was icky. But the
All
dogs
natural.
absolutely, they are. But the dogs love them.
Yep.
They're healthy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get around to making them, it's, well, that was harsh. When you have a little break in your time and can make some treats, I mean, our dogs love them.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, my dogs won't leave the kitchen. That's where the dehydrator is.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I mean, the byproducts to some level have gotten a bad rap.
Right.
And why don't you tell me what you found?
So, hold on, I'm on the wrong page. Hold on, guys. So meat meal and unlabeled meat ingredients, they usually contain expired, infected, low quality meat, and can also include the fatty tissues of dead animals from shelters.
So there you go. Total opposite information.
Yeah. Just feed. Is that cannibalism? Feeding dogs other dogs? I
No.
don't. Okay.
See, and
Okay.
then, even when you say that, what do wolves, fox, coyotes, what do they eat out in the wild? They eat other animals
Yep,
that have
just
died.
Whatever
Some they kill.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you have to think about that. And, some of that is kind of natural for them.
Right. And that's, it is interesting that we found such opposite answers for kind of the same thing, because reading that, I'd think,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But they are dogs. It's, is it really that bad? I don't, it's hard to say. I mean, that goes kind of down that.
Well, I think, I one time read somewhere, I can't even tell you where, that if you put 100 veterinarians in a room and gave them a scenario on dogs or cats,
Mm-hmm.
an animal being sick or ill or injured, you would get 100 different answers on how to handle it.
Oh, well.
So I feel like, that's more vet care, but I feel like that is the same when it comes to nutrition with dogs.
It just depends on who you ask and the dog and a lot of variables, I think.
So really, you have to think about your best judgment.
Right.
And there are a couple things that are factors with, and this pertains more towards the dog food end of things.
Mm-hmm.
They do need to state the life stages on the dog food package.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Puppy food, for
Seniors.
seniors. And actually, they have a maintenance one that is kind of for all stages of life.
Did you find, this just came to me, is there one specifically for pregnant dogs? Or...
I can't say that there isn't. Most breeders that I know usually will start feeding a pregnant female puppy food.
Right, okay.
Because it's higher in nutrition.
Okay.
So I can't say that there isn't. I haven't heard of one.
Okay.
But I do know most, and veterinarians usually, at least my veterinarian, he recommends that about halfway mark you start feeding them puppy food.
I was just curious about that. It just kind of.
That's a good question. Another topic to look up. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Yeah.
Also, the shelf life on dry kibble is a couple of years.
See, and I never really actually looked at that, but I think you've mentioned that to me before.
And the way they get that is they prepare it at a high rate of temperature.
Oh, yeah.
And that can kind of take a little niche out of the nutritional value.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something to think about too. So with the high temps and that kind of taking a little bit of a dip on the nutritional value, that's kind of why we opted to go with dehydrating food. It is a lower temp. The treats don't have a 2-year shelf life on them.
They certainly do not.
But they have a little better nutrition, and they are just a treat.
They are, which, I guess I'm speaking for myself here. I can't speak for everybody, but when I have treats, I don't think I have them longer than a month, and that can be a decent-sized bag. So,
Well, that's because you leave them on the counter, and your dogs get them and eat them all in an afternoon.
okay, you know what? Listen, that was several accidents, okay?
You know those cabinets with the doors on them that are like right in front of your face?
What are those for?
They're cupboards.
Oh,
Yeah, you can put food in there.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I know where to put them.
Yeah, just open them up and put it right in there. They won't ever get it.
I don't know why I never thought of that.
Anyhow, so yeah, and obviously there's other methods, I could go on forever. Freeze drying is supposed to be healthier than dehydrating and on and on and on. But for the dogs at Primo Corso Kennels, the option there is dehydrating. It's a mix of just organ meat and veggies, that's that, and eggs.
Yep.
We do boiled eggs.
There's no preservatives, none of that chemical anything.
Yeah. Well, I think these dogs, it's kind of weird because whenever I open a cheap bag of dog treats,
Yeah.
I swear it smells like Play-Doh.
Oh, it does. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even smell like meat.
Yep.
So I don't know why these dogs actually like it. It just seems so odd. And my dogs will eat cheap treats. They don't care.
Yeah.
But it just seems weird that I don't know what is in it because it does. Maybe it is Play-Doh.
It could be, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of fillers. So there's, is it white flour, that meat meal, which we don't know what that is.
Might not be all bad.
Yeah.
There's the other side of that stupid coin.
That one's a tricky one. I mean, and that's the thing. Why do the dogs like even the smell of it? What is the appeal for them for those treats? Because they don't smell good. I mean,
well, Yazzie I have an ongoing battle with Yazzie. I can put, actually just last night, I put 2 extra blankets in his bed.
Yeah.
And he constantly pushes them up into one corner like he wants, I don't know, an elevated bed, like those hospital beds or something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I have 1 blanket or 10 in there, he will put them all up in one end so he can like put his elbow on it and rest his head. And as a result, he has a callus on his outer ankle.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided to get some...
is it balm of some sort?
It's a balm, but I started looking on Amazon at different brands and products. They have balms, they have lotions, they have all sorts of different variations of protectors, softeners, moisturizers. And I started looking through them. And one thing that I had in my head is I do know Yazi's quite a washer.
Yeah.
He's always washing his feet and his legs and
Very
whatever.
clean. Very clean.
Yeah, he thinks. So I started looking at that to make sure that, if he were to lick it, would he get sick?
Right.
And I actually found on a pretty good handful of some of those that they have ingredients that if ingested, my opinion is that it could make your dog sick.
Right. Yeah.
It always says food grade with the paw protecting products.
Yeah.
It does say food grade, but if it's not dog food grade, then it still, in my opinion, could be toxic or make your dog sick.
Well, and just because it's not a treat or food and it's not technically supposed to be ingested doesn't mean that the dog's not going to lick it.
They're going to wash their feet. They're going to wash their legs. They're going to wash, whatever they can.
Yeah.
So it's not even just, this could go on and on and on.
Right.
So it's not just foods. It's not just treats, but anything that you might put on your dog's body that they could ingest, washing their faces or cats, they're always washing.
Yep.
So, it's not just about reading the labels for what they actually are supposed to be taking in their digestive system, but what they could actually end up consuming inadvertently.
Well, and that even, I guess, technically it's not consuming, but, what was it? There was one brand of dog shampoo that was actually making dogs sick. People were giving their dogs, but I can't remember. It was, I want to say like a couple years ago, but it was like a flea and tick shampoo, and their dogs were getting super sick after they were given a bath, and they couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, and somehow it came out that it happened to multiple people with the same shampoo, and they kind of put two and two together at some point. And I mean, I guess I wouldn't have thought of that either, because that's being, absorbed through their skin, and, if it's for that, you'd think it would be safe.
Well, and that's another way it can get into their system is not just the licking or the eating, but absorbing it through their skin or even something they're walking on at their paws. That's why, when you start talking about Jim being sick a week ago, I wondered if, had you switched to something you're washing floors with, is he walking in something and, getting it that way? But, there's so many different things that you have to look at when you have dogs or cats, that it's not just about reading the labels for the foods, treats, topical treatments.
Right.
Anything.
Any dog product.
Right.
Animal product.
So so what is our answer? We don't know.
We don't know. There are so many. Many.
Yeah, I guess really if, we're just bringing it to everybody's attention to read those labels, because you don't know what you're giving your dogs, your cats. And if you're unsure of a product, if it contains garlic, can my dog have it? Contact your vet. Do some research. That's what we always do. That is what we always do. We talk to each other, kind of get some ideas going, and then generally we do some Googling and look for some, consistent information. And that's how we first approach a problem with dogs here.
Right.
And then if you don't have an answer within your own resources, check with your vet.
Yeah.
And a good vet doesn't mind getting calls. So it has been Thanksgiving week. We hope everybody out there had an awesome Thanksgiving. And because of the holiday, children have had some extra time off school. So we have invited my grandson,
my son,
Daytrick, to join us and have a little input on reading the labels for your dogs.
Yes. So we will bring him in here
and find out what he has to say.
Oh boy.
So, day trick, we are talking about reading labels on dog treats, dog food. What do you have to say about that?
So I think it's very important to do it because sometimes there's stuff in dog treats that aren't very good for them, so you gotta read them.
Do your dogs ever get sick from treats?
Well, once, but only once, so.
Well, we won't do that again then, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got some pretty awesome dogs that live here.
Yeah, but, yeah, it's true, Jim is behind me, staring at me.
Well, I think he's looking at you with some adoring eyes.
Yep.
He's probably thinking, hey, Dietrich, tell him about the good treats.
Yeah, we found these, like, donut-shaped treats for dogs,
Yeah?
and they seem to really like them, and everything in it is good for them, or okay for them.
We looked for ingredients that they shouldn't have to make sure they weren't in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I think that's what you got to do to take good care of the animals.
Yeah, especially the little ones.
Yep. Well, now, when you go to the store, is your mom ever in a hurry?
No.
Oh.
I'm not. I always have time to talk, I guess, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
So, your mom's a talker. Actually, that is true because you and I play hide and seek from her in the store when she's talking to people.
Yeah.
Well, earlier I got in the way of traffic at Walmart because I was saying hey to somebody, so whoops.
Yeah. So, actually, I guess Tori's not too busy to read the label. She's just talking too much to read the labels.
Yeah, it's very true. She talks a lot.
Yeah. Wonder where you get it from.
I get it from you, Mom.
Well, I think that's excellent that you guys are reading the labels and your dogs are probably feeling better in their tummies from it. Hey, are you having a good Thanksgiving week?
Yeah. Actually, so speaking of Thanksgiving, so if you want to have the dogs join you on Thanksgiving, maybe take some turkey and just cook it normally. Don't add any seasoning to it and give it to them.
That's a good idea. Then they can have a happy Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, but make sure to remove the bone.
Yeah.
And then if they want the bone, you can just give it to them if it's big enough.
That's true. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Don't want them to have tiny bones where they can choke, huh?
Yeah, especially the big ones, because they will definitely choke on them because they won't even know they're there.
Well, I believe I've heard too that the bones can kind of build up in their digestive system if they don't chew them good enough. So that's a problem. It can create a blockage.
Well, yeah, that's actually true, because I heard something about that at my grandma's, because we were watching the news and this dog went to the vet because there was bone buildup inside of its stomach, so it couldn't eat.
Oh no!
And it was very sick.
Yeah, that's a big problem for sure. That would be at your other grandma's house.
Yes.
Did they fix the dog?
Oh yeah, they had to do plastic surgery.
Oh, happy ending.
Got a little tummy tuck along with that blockage removal.
Yeah, the dog ended up being okay, but it wasn't able to eat for 5 or 4 weeks. But it could eat, but not like very big food. It had to like eat small food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bummer. So, if you don't feed them bones, then you don't have that problem happen and the dog doesn't have to have surgery and feel lousy.
Yeah, I think Enzo, I think he really liked it because, or he will like a piece of turkey because he likes chicken, like the taste of chicken, and turkey is basically like chicken, but better.
Well, I think you're probably right about that. We actually haven't had our family Thanksgiving because you're going to your dad's. So we're doing ours a week late.
Yes.
So sadly, the dogs have to wait for turkey here.
Yeah. You're going to make sure they get some, though, aren't you?
Yeah, especially Stella at my dad's.
Oh, sure. Well, she's a skinny dog. She needs a little plumping up, doesn't she?
Yes,
Mhm.
because we feed her normally. She just I don't know why she's so thin. She hasn't been eating much, but she's been eating okay. Like she's been eating like most of her bowl, leaving a bit, but she's still so skinny.
Well, Elsa's kind of a thin girl too.
Well, yeah, I know that.
So there's just some dogs that have a slimmer build.
Yeah, but the one key thing about dogs is if they're meant to be big but they're small, they need to eat more.
Yeah. You know what I do when my dogs are thin? I add eggs to their food.
Oh, well, yeah, they do like eggs.
Yeah.
Good protein.
Yeah, but I do have to do research if dogs can have milk.
I know cats can't. Everybody thinks cats can have milk, but actually cats are typically lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes it causes problems with their digestive system because they're lactose intolerant.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know about, I guess I've never really checked into that with dogs because I've never really given dogs milk, but.
Well, we don't give our dogs milk, but let me tell you what, Daedric puts his cereal bowl up on that counter and it doesn't get dumped out.
So they have these things in the kitchen that are like these big, they look like a big bowl. They sit down into the counter.
Sure.
And there's running water that goes into them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can turn on a garbage disposal and run milk down that drain so that the milk isn't sitting on the counter.
Sure. Well,
The cereal, I should say.
No garbage disposal.
Okay.
And two, are we talking a Daedric? Because it's not my cereal bowl.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that because I just remember talking to you on the phone and you saying you set your bowl of cereal down on the end table and Enzo drank it. That was just this week, Tori.
Cereal? There was no milk in that. Betsy got up on the counter and ate out of my cereal bowl.
So then the cereal is still on the counter, Tori. That's what sinks and cupboards are for.
If I'm going to pour milk into it, I shouldn't have to put it in the cupboard in a bowl.
Well, that's...
Where'd you go?
To get after my other dog.
So you left the cereal unattended on the counter.
Yeah, because dogs don't belong on the counters.
Well, that's very true.
See?
But
we got naughty dog.
Yeah. And actually, so my dog Enzo, our dog Enzo, he doesn't really get up on the counter, but once in a while he does.
That's true. He's hefty.
Yeah. But Betsy does it a lot, so does Tito. But they're just after the food because they act like they're starving even though they have like a lot of food every day.
well, here's what I'm going to say. Quit leaving your food on the counter.
The counter is for food. I need to train my dogs better. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's an
See?
idea. I don't know.
You know, I said that trying to defend myself, but really, it all falls back on me anyway.
Well, as I am tormenting you on the counter topic. I do know that when I walk into my kitchen and there's 2 black paw prints on my white sink,
Yeah.
that somebody, and it's not me, has been drinking out of the dirty bowl sitting in the sink.
Let me guess. Is it Ziggy?
It's Ziggy, yes.
It is, yes.
And he's teaching Karma how to do it.
While I was washing my hands the other day, while I was over at your place, and here comes little Miss Carmelicious right up next to me at the sink, and I'm like, ma'am, get down. And she just looked at me adorable, because that's what she does.
Yes.
But
So, what we're saying here is we all have naughty dogs.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But we love them anyway.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And, make sure they don't get into the garbage.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a
'Cause-
good way to get a sick dog.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. So now, since we've been messing around enough, again, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. And don't forget to hit the follow button or comment down below.
And thank you for joining us. We hope that you will be here for our next episode. We will be talking about CPR and first aid for pets.
And see you later, guys, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.